She was a princess in a fairy tale wedding, but behind the palace walls, she faced a heartbreaking reality that would lead her to defy a queen and inspire the world. To discover the true story of her courage and improve your English, subscribe now and click the notification bell so you don't miss what happens next. It is the story of one of the most admired women in the world, Princess Diana. Now, her life was not just a fairy tale. It was a real life filled with challenges, with triumphs, and with a kind of beauty that was much deeper than just her outward appearance. Princess Diana was a true icon, a person who captured the hearts of millions and millions of people all around the world. By the end of this story, I promise you, you will understand why she was so loved, and you will admire her as much as I do. Are you ready to listen to an amazing journey of love, courage, and kindness? Let's begin. On July 1st, 1961, a baby girl was born who would one day change the world. Her name was Diana Frances Spencer, and she was born into an aristocratic family in Norfolk, England. This means her family was part of the British nobility, a very high social class. From the moment she arrived, it seemed her life was destined for something special. Diana was the fourth of 5 children, and even as a young child she stood out. There was something about her, a light in her eyes, that made her seem almost like an angel. Diana was no ordinary child. She had a smile that could warm even the coldest of hearts. Her eyes, a sparkling blue, seemed to tell stories without needing to use words. And her voice, it was soft, it was gentle, yet it was full of a quiet strength. People just couldn't help but be drawn to her. Her kindness was natural. She wasn't just beautiful on the outside. She was a beautiful soul on the inside, full of compassion and a deep love for others. Her parents, Edward Spencer and Frances Roche, were important people, but their marriage was far from perfect. Sadly, when Diana was just 7 years old, a very young age, her parents' marriage fell apart. They divorced. This was a very difficult and sad time for Diana, but it also taught her something important. It taught her the power of resilience, which is the ability to become strong again after something bad happens. Even at such a young age, Diana learned how to keep going despite the sadness in her life. Growing up, Diana was often shy and quiet, but there was a magnetic energy about her that people simply could not ignore. She was very close to her family, especially her brothers and sisters. Despite the challenges she faced with her parents' divorce, she always tried to remain positive. Diana also had a deep love for children and for animals. She would often spend hours volunteering her time helping those in need. This showed her compassionate side, even when she was just a teenager. She loved to help other people. Whether it was teaching children or working with the elderly, she was determined to make a difference in the world. And she did. Diana wasn't the kind of person who waited for opportunities to come to her. She created them. This passion for helping others would eventually become a central part of her life, and one of the many reasons people adored her. In 1977, Diana's life took a turn that would change everything. At just 16 years old, she met Prince Charles, the heir to the British throne. The connection between them was immediate. Diana, with her sweet smile and her natural beauty, caught Charles's eye. But there was something more about her, something beyond the glitter and gold of royalty. Diana was real. She was genuine. She didn't pretend to be someone she was not. And Charles, despite all of his royal duties and responsibilities, was drawn to her honesty and her charm. They began dating, and soon their relationship became the subject of intense media attention. Diana, who was still so young, was now in the spotlight. The whole world was watching her every move. Can you imagine that, to be so young and to have cameras following you everywhere you go? But this attention, this pressure, it didn't change her. Diana remained humble, down to earth, and incredibly kind. She wasn't just the girl dating a prince. She was becoming a woman that the world would soon admire for so much more than her beauty. On July 29, 1981, it felt like the entire world held its breath. On that day, Diana and Charles were married in a grand ceremony at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. It was called the Wedding of the Century, and for a very good reason. Diana was every little girl's dream of a princess come to life. Her wedding dress was breathtaking, with a 25-foot train that flowed behind her like a river of silk. She was a vision in white, the kind of beauty that seemed almost impossible in real life. She truly looked like a fairy tale princess, the kind you read about in storybooks. The streets of London were packed with thousands and thousands of people, all of them cheering for the new couple. Diana, with her soft smile and her graceful walk, captured everyone's hearts. People from all over the world were watching on their televisions, and they couldn't get enough of the new princess. But beyond all the glamour and the ceremony, Diana's heart was full of love and hope. She dreamed of a life filled with happiness, with family, and with service to others. In 1982, Diana and Charles were blessed with their first child, a son named Prince William. The world celebrated this new addition to the royal family. Diana was overjoyed to become a mother. She was determined to be the best mom she could be. She loved William with all her heart, and made sure he was raised with love and kindness, away from the pressures of royal life, as much as possible. 2 years later, in 1984, Diana gave birth to another son, Prince Harry. Once again, the world celebrated the royal family's growing happiness. Diana's love for her children was beyond anything. She was not just a princess. She was a mother who cared deeply for her boys. She would take them on trips, she played with them in the garden, and she made sure they had as normal a childhood as she could give them. But behind the happy smiles and the perfect photographs, the royal family was not as perfect as it seemed. Though Diana had everything anyone could dream of: wealth, fame, beauty. Her life wasn't easy. Behind the closed doors of the palace, her marriage was falling apart. Diana and Charles's relationship became more and more distant. The media, who were always watching and always taking pictures, made things even harder for them. Diana felt trapped in a world of royal duties and heavy expectations. She longed for freedom, for simple love, and for real happiness. In 1992, after years of private struggles, Diana and Charles separated. The divorce was finalized in 1996, and Diana found herself facing the world alone. But this was not the end for her. In fact, this was just the beginning of her next chapter. Diana's divorce did not stop her from being the amazing woman she was. She channeled her pain, her sadness, into something beautiful. She became even more dedicated to her charity work, helping children, the sick, and the less fortunate. She used her public platform to raise awareness for important causes like AIDS and the danger of landmines. Diana's personal struggles only made her more relatable to people around the world. She showed that even someone as famous as a princess could go through hardship and could overcome it with strength. She didn't just want to be admired for her beauty or her title. She wanted to make a real difference. And she did. She took on causes that no one else would. She shook hands with people with AIDS when the world was afraid to even touch them. She walked through dangerous minefields to show the world the real danger of landmines. She showed incredible bravery. She was more than just a royal. She was a force of nature. The world watched her every move, but this time she wasn't just the royal wife. She was Diana, a woman who had endured, survived, and thrived. The past years had been filled with heartbreak, but Diana was not someone to sit and dwell in her sadness. She was ready to make a change not just for herself, but for the world. Diana did not let her personal struggles define her. Instead, she became a voice for those who were forgotten by society. She was determined to make a difference, and she used her fame to shine a light on causes that needed attention. Her charity work became the heart and soul of her public life, at a time when many people were still afraid of AIDS and did not understand it. Diana was unafraid. She held the hands of patients, she kissed their cheeks, and she treated them with the dignity and care they deserved. Her actions spoke louder than any words ever could. Her simple kindness showed the world that compassion was more powerful than fear. Diana was changing the world one act of kindness at a time. Then in 1997, she famously walked through an active minefield in Angola. This was a place where hidden bombs from a past war were still in the ground. Her visit showed the world the deadly effects of landmines. She wasn't just a symbol of grace and beauty anymore. She was a symbol of true courage. Her willingness to take such a personal risk brought global attention to the landmine crisis. Her bravery helped save countless lives and changed the way the world viewed humanitarian issues. Despite all of her incredible accomplishments, Diana's personal life still had its challenges. But she was a mother, first and foremost, and her love for her children, Prince William and Prince Harry, never wavered. Even though her marriage had ended in pain, Diana found a new strength as a single mother. She did not let the pressures of royal life keep her from raising her sons with love, honesty, and care. Diana was committed to giving her boys the most normal life possible, despite the extraordinary circumstances they lived in. But it wasn't just her children who saw Diana's strength. The whole world saw it. Her vulnerability, her kindness, and her amazing ability to rise above her struggles made her a beacon of hope for millions of people. She showed that even a princess could feel lonely, lost, and hurt. And that was okay. It was what made her human. Her willingness to be open about her struggles with depression and her failed marriage helped to break the silence around mental health, making her an even greater role model. Her journey was not one of perfection. It was one of resilience. Diana embraced her flaws, her struggles, and her fears, and in doing so, she taught others to do the same. She showed the world that strength does not come from being perfect. It comes from facing life's challenges with courage and with grace. In August 1997, just a few months after her brave visit to Angola, tragedy struck. Diana's life was cut short in a car accident in Paris. The world was in shock. It was news that no one could believe. Princess Diana, the woman who had inspired millions, who had given so much of herself to others, was gone. But even in her death, she left behind a legacy that would never be forgotten. Her funeral was watched by millions of people around the world, and it was a moment that brought everyone together in shared grief. But Diana would not be remembered for her tragic death. She would be remembered for her life, for the love she gave, for the causes she championed, and for the way she made people believe that kindness, courage, and compassion could change the world. Princess Diana's death may have been a great loss to the world, but her legacy lives on in so many ways. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, continue to carry the torch that she lit. They have dedicated their lives to many of the causes that were so important to their mother. Working on mental health awareness charity work and supporting the vulnerable. Diana's influence is seen in their efforts, and through them, her love and compassion continue to shine brightly. Diana's legacy also lives on through the many charities she supported. The Diana Princess of Wales Memorial Fund continues to raise money for causes that were close to her heart, like Children's Hospital's AIDS research and landmine removal. Her dedication to making the world a better place never stopped, and it never will. So what can we learn from Princess Diana's life? Her story is a powerful reminder that no matter how hard life gets, there is always hope. Diana faced tremendous challenges, but she did not let them define her. Instead, she used her pain as a stepping stone to help others to be a voice for the voiceless, and to show the world that love and kindness are the most powerful forces we have. She teaches us that beauty isn't just about appearances, it's about what is inside your heart. It's about the way you treat other people, the way you lift them up when they are down. Diana's beauty was not just in her smile or her elegance, it was in her heart. It was in her unwavering commitment to making the world a better place. And perhaps the most powerful lesson Diana left behind was this: no matter how difficult life gets, we can always rise again. We can always find the strength to move forward. Life is about more than just surviving. It's about living with purpose, with love, and with a heart full of compassion. As we reflect on the life of Princess Diana, we can see that her story did not end with her death. In many ways, it was just the beginning. Her legacy lives on through every life she touched, every cause she supported, and every heart she inspired. Diana was more than just a princess. She was a symbol of hope, courage, and love, a beacon that continues to shine brightly even today. So as you go forward in your life, remember Diana's message. When life gets tough, when the road ahead seems impossible, know that you have the strength inside you to rise again. Know that kindness, compassion, and love are the greatest tools you have to make a difference in the world. Diana's life wasn't perfect, but it was beautiful in its imperfections. She showed us that true beauty, the most real kind of beauty, is found in the heart. And that is a lesson we will carry with us forever. Princess Diana's story is one of resilience, love, and kindness. She may not be with us today, but her legacy continues to inspire millions. Her life reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we can find light and hope. So take inspiration from her journey. No matter what you face in your own life, you have the power to overcome it with strength, with grace, and with a kind heart. This is the end of our story about Princess Diana for now, but her legacy will live on in all of us. Let her life be a reminder to live with purpose, to be kind, and to always find strength in the face of adversity. Thank you for listening today.